welcome to Ditch the Email Templates with Quandri Connect. This is our exciting product launch webinar. We have about 150 people that have registered today, so lots of excitement around this new product that we're about to announce to you today. And without further ado, I'm going to hand this over to Quandri's president and co-founder, Jameson Frejo.
Thank you, Tessa. And hello, everybody. Thanks for coming today. We are really excited to be here in front of you announcing Connect. And it looks like a lot of you are excited as well because we've had more signups for this webinar than ever before. I am Jameson Frejo. I'm the president and co-founder of Quandri. I lead up our product function here at Quandri, and I'm really focused on what our product is today and where it's going tomorrow and over the next year and beyond. And we have been looking forward to the day that we could come out with a product like Connect for a long time. And so I'm really excited to be here and to show this to you. I'm joined here by Kyle, and Kyle, I'll pass it over to you to introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, as Jameson mentioned, my name is Kyle. So recently joined here at Quandri a little while ago, but my background actually spans legal and technology. And most recently I was in a legal technology company, which is a highly regulated industry, just like insurance is. I really spent my entire kind of career building solutions to complex problems and workflows by leveraging the latest technology. I'm super excited about this, and my passion really resides in getting products to actually fundamentally change how people work. And with Connect, it's a super exciting time as we're going to be combining kind of automation and AI to deliver real value for our customers.
So, as Tessa said at the beginning, we are going to do a little bit of engagement in this webinar. Right? We just want to make you feel a little uncomfortable. So, I'm going to ask you to answer in the chat what you think the answer to this question is. What is the core value proposition of an insurance advisor? Dan Reese. Hey, Dan. Dan says to advise. Adam says to simplify the complex. Insurance advice. Okay, here we go. Now they start coming in. Ethical advice for proper protection. Seth here says leveraging knowledge and experience to provide risk strategy. Peace of mind. That's a good one. That's important. Carrie says to provide advice and educate. Hey, Carrie. Okay. Yeah, you're all saying very similar things, and this is really how Quandri sees it as well. And what we like to think of this as is the role of an insurance advisor is to simplify the complexities of insurance and provide trustworthy, expert guidance, empowering clients to make informed decisions about their coverage. As many of you said, the outcome of this is to provide those clients with peace of mind. So thank you all very much for engaging and jumping in there. Now, I'm going to ask you to do it one more time. Who here feels confident that they can actually deliver this level of service to every one of their clients? And you'll see a quick poll that just jumped up on your screen, and you can answer there. So you did a good job of explaining what the core value of an insurance advisor is. Now, who feels confident that they're delivering that to every single one of their clients? Now, our results are, quite staggering. So 82% of you said no, not all of them, whereas only 18% said, yes, I can. And this is what we've seen as well. And so it's important to talk about client service and why client service is so important. And the fundamental reason is that client service is the differentiator of an insurance brokerage or agency. The product that is being sold, the product that is being serviced is no different really from one brokerage to another and is not within your control. The thing that is within your control is service and how the client experiences the buying, utilizing, and process of using that product. And at Quandri, we strongly believe that the renewal is one of, if not the most important moment to really deliver on this value proposition of service as a differentiator. It's when you are having a discussion with your client about what is happening in their policy and if things have changed, and is an opportunity to really differentiate compared to competition on how well you can provide that service to your client. But it's hard. We spent the last 6 months talking to many, many brokers about this space. And we understand how challenging it is, especially at renewal time. And we found the following, that most service is reactive. There is a chunk of brokers and clients that are able to get personalized communication at renewal time, but that's only a portion. And most of that communication is happening when a client picks up the phone and calls a broker, which is disruptive and hard to plan. Some brokers do put the time in to email and communicate with their clients, but if they aren't using a marketing automation tool, this can be a very timely process. If you want to write a good communication to a client at renewal, this can take 5 minutes, but if you're digging into ARS, you're digging into quotes, portals, and renewals, this can take up to 20 minutes, we've seen. Also, if you aren't using marketing automation tooling, then the experience clients are getting across brokers is very different. It's subjective and it's inconsistent, and so the client experience you're delivering changes from client to client. But then many brokerages do fill this with a marketing automation tool. But what we found is that those tools provide generic templates that are not necessarily contextualized to the end client or their policy, and thus do not provide that much value. And so we understand how painful this is. And ultimately, it's because doing this is hard and it's expensive. But what we've learned is that it's expensive not to do that. And that providing no client experience at renewal time or an impersonal client experience at renewal time is very likely to increase the risk of that client shopping around. It also is a moment for brokers to clean up E&O exposure. And it's also a moment for them to understand, for brokers to provide optionality on coverages that are not currently on a policy and to round that policy out. Importantly, what we see is that there is a lot of work that goes into policies throughout the year and at renewal time. But consumers often don't know this. And myself as a consumer have actually found this as well, is that my perception of what is happening on my policy at renewal time, being a consumer, is much different than when I'm wearing my Quandri hat and understanding what's actually going into it. We find time and time again that brokers and agents are investing time into a policy to ensure that clients have the right coverage and that they're with the best carrier. But if it's not communicated to the end client, then the client doesn't know that that value is being added. And so ultimately, if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, does it really fall? The question is, without providing the client and articulating the value that you're providing to them, they're gonna think that you aren't providing any value to them. And that's where the risk of shopping around comes from. So communication is key. The communication of the value that you're adding to a client and to their policy is your differentiator and is so important. And by delivering a personalized client experience at any time, but especially at renewal time, then you build a relationship with that client and you increase their trust and their loyalty to your brand, your brokerage, and the broker. You're able to educate them about their policy, what is happening in the market, and you increase the perceived value that they're receiving. You have the opportunity to understand what else is happening within their life, and if they have other policies that can be bundled for savings as an upsell or cross-sell, and also the opportunity to add coverages and discounts to their policy as well to ensure that they are covered for their needs. And as I keep saying, this communication and this service is really the differentiator from one brokerage to another. What this does in a business sense is it increases retention. Clients that have a strong relationship with their broker are much less likely to cancel. And if a broker has served a client well in the past, that client has trust that they'll do so again in the future, increasing retention. And I'm sure you all know that. But it's far more cost effective to invest in customer retention than acquisition. And especially as we've learned in insurance, where the cost to acquire a new customer is higher than almost any other industry. Digging into some of the research, we found that it costs 7 to 9 times more for an insurance agency to attract a new customer than to retain one. And so this is why it makes business sense to invest heavily in your retention numbers. And that's why so many of you do and invest in this on an annual basis. But trust me, I understand that that's easier said than done, especially in the market we are in today, where premiums are rising. Clients need to get moved from one one carrier to another if that carrier is pulling out of a market. And with a hard market, this is not easy with all of the work that is getting piled on to a broker and brokerage's workload. And the tools that you have to do this do not enable you to do this well. The result is, from what we've found, that only about 20 to 30% of clients are actually receiving a tailored, personalized outreach at renewal time from their advisors. And that the clients that are VIP clients is that it is the clients that have a either really high premium on their policy or a really high premium increase that year. But that there's a lot of clients that might have had premium increases that are not receiving this communication from their client. And it's because the tooling to do that is not very effective. There are a few methods that brokerages use to deliver this service to their end client. The first is direct mail. And direct mail is not great. It's slow. It is both slow for the end client to receive it when it's coming in the mail, but it's really slow for the brokerage to process as well. And so it's expensive and, importantly, unreliable and unsecure. There was recently a strike in Canada from the Canada Post, which meant it was difficult and delayed for people to receive their policies. Not ideal. The next is marketing automation. This is a one-to-many approach, but unfortunately, it lacks the personalized context and value of understanding exactly what's happening within that policy and the context of that individual as well. And so when somebody opens up one of these one-to-many marketing emails, they can tell that it's generic and that it was sent to mass. And unfortunately, it also ends up in spam a lot. And so because this doesn't provide that much value, many brokerages we've spoke with actually see this as disruptive rather than valuable, in that they would rather not send it because they don't think it adds value than send it. And lastly, there's the one-to-one email. This is the email that you as an advisor would write yourself and send to an end client. This is great, except that it's subjective. And when you're looking at the business as a whole, it means you're delivering different levels of service to different customers. And that people are doing it and there isn't quality control on it. And so it's prone to errors. Most importantly, it takes a lot of time for someone to sit down and type a personalized email based on a renewal to their client. If they want to dig through a quote, if they want to dig through the renewal information, go into portals and understand the whole picture of that policy, it might take them 5, 10, even 20 minutes to do so, which is not scalable when you're looking at thousands of policies and clients that a broker might serve. So we know this is a problem. We know there's value in doing it, but the tools that exist don't enable us to do it to all of our clients in a personalized and scalable manner. And that's why we're here today. We are excited to share that Quandri thinks and knows that there is a better way to do this. Quandri is focused on the renewal and enables brokerages and agencies to analyze policy data, to quote those renewals with other carriers, and as of today, to utilize AI to connect with their clients directly. And we want to enable brokerages and agencies to leverage technology like AI that increase the leverage and the potential of the humans behind it. And so I'm excited to be here. I'm going to pass it off to Kyle to actually walk you through what this looks like and how we've gone about building that. Over to you, Kyle.
Awesome. Thanks, Jameson. So over the past few months, I've actually had the privilege to work with a bunch of our customers, as you can see on the screen here, and really kind of deeply understand their existing workflows of how they communicate with clients. And everyone looks a little bit different in this case and how they really get to that end result. But truly, at the end of the day, something gets sent to an end client. How you get there can be many different ways. So really going through this group and understanding this, we kind of set out to solve some core challenges, as you can see here, and really relates back to the kind of the core problems of the client communication kind of workflow that exists right now. So there's lots of reactive service, there's manual touch points, there's subjective and inconsistent, and impersonal services as well. So this is what we really set out to kind of solve and go through. That gives me the exciting announcement to kind of introduce Connect, Quandri's latest product, which is super exciting. And really what we can start to do is ditch those email templates and start to move towards AI-driven emails that actually deliver that personalized experience at scale by utilizing all of this information that we already have. During that discovery process, I understood these client communication email processes. So this is just an example of it. Everything looks a little bit different, but you can tell there's a lot of room for error here, and there's a lot of steps to do these actions at the end. Sometimes they're very simple, then they're usually highly manual. When they are more automated, like Jameson was mentioning, through marketing automation tools, there's a lot of configuration and management to actually get to those pieces. So this process has a lot of different opportunities that we saw to actually start utilizing technology to start to automate a lot of this and get to a very simple process and workflow. So this is really what we envisioned as the ideal process. Of course, none of us want to be doing all of these manual steps just to simply click a button. With Connect, we're going to be taking all of that away. So as soon as a renewal review or a policy check has been completed, we're going to be utilizing our AI technology to draft a very detailed email and have that available for an instant send. So taking all of that process you just saw on the last slide and putting it right to that last moment and being able to do that at scale and really growing that VIP segment if need be. So now let's kind of take a look at Connect and see it in action. So with Connect, we'll begin at the dashboard here, which we're showing. In this dashboard, what you can actually see here is you can sort by things like premium, amount, and even search and filter and find things very simply. And as soon as you actually get out of this screen and dive into one, so here we just opened up Kevin, for example, you can see on the right-hand side, we've generated that email and created it kind of tailored right to this experience while still keeping in context all of the insights about that we've captured. So you actually have trust in what we're creating and the insights on the left-hand side here, which is super powerful and kind of cuts all of that process out to a one-click action. And just keep in mind, this is just a single example. As our tool is going through and actually creating all of these, this is available for all of those different renewals and those reviews that we're completing automatically. Jameson, do you want to kind of talk a little bit about on the right-hand side some more of the value that you see inside that email?
Yeah, and just so everybody has context here, this is after one of Quandri's a Quandri renewal review or a policy check has run, and all of the information on the left-hand side here is information that we have found within that renewal that we are highlighting to a broker or a CSR on that file today. And we've taken that information and we've put it up here for easy access and easy to understand what's happening in a policy, and then baked it automatically directly into the email. And so for this particular example, we see that Kevin had a premium increase of 22% or $485. And so we wanted to highlight the work that you as a broker have done or Quandri has done of digging through and understanding that policy. And so we've highlighted that a thorough review has been completed and that there are a few important insights on this policy. The first is that the premium has increased, but also what coverages are there and what the limits are at. Because this is quite a significant premium increase, depending on where you are, this email is focused on two things. It wants to look for opportunities to bundle because this is a monoline policy. And so at the bottom here, highlight the opportunity to bundle this with another policy and look for additional savings. But because there are also coverages missing, it highlights that those coverages are missing, explains what they are, and lets the client know if they want to explore adding additional coverage, that they are always there as a broker to provide that service. So the content of this email will adjust based on key factors like the premium increasing or what coverages that are there and what coverages are not, ideally enabling brokers to provide personalized service to all clients. Over to you, Kyle.
Awesome. Yeah, so of course, after these emails are sent, you can hit send on the bottom right-hand corner to quickly go through, or search on the right-hand side as well. So quickly searchable, you can find things if you wanted to look deeper, but you can also just save them as a draft. So if you want to pick this up, come back to it later, you can. And additionally, of course, we keep a record of all of these inside of our platform. So every single email that is sent out will be here and available for review if you ever wanted to come back to it. So that's all there and available. And behind the scenes, so all of this is great, but behind the scenes, this is connecting directly and integrates out directly with Epic. And also we're going to be save those files back, these emails back into the file. And of course, emails can also be tailored and sent directly from your domain. And we offer different sorts of customization. So you can really personalize also what that email looks like too, and set up the framework for that one as well. So we're super excited about what the impact Connect is going to have, both on everyone's team's productivity and their experience and the end client's experience as well, kind of leveling that up, taking all that work that's actually happening and showing that it's getting there, just like Jameson was talking about. With Connect, we really see that it's going to have significant improvements in efficiency and accuracy and client satisfaction as well, and just overall a better experience for everyone. But that's all for me, and I'll kind of throw it back to Jameson to close us out.
Thank you, Kyle. So as we have said a few times, we have been envisioning a world where we can deliver Connect or deliver personalized information, enabling brokers to deliver personalized information to the end client for a long time. And so we are excited to be here and show that to you now. At Quandri, we are really focused on two things. We're first focused on the renewal process for personal lines insurance. We think that the renewal is the core tenet of the brokerage and the place where the most value is added by a broker. And we want to enable tooling and the way that work gets done at renewal to be reimagined and to be so much better than it is today. Which brings me into the second thing, is that there's so much going on in the world today, and technology is changing like crazy. Every week you might see a different announcement of what's happening in the world of AI. And a question that I get asked a lot is a broker coming up to me and saying, I keep getting told I should use AI and I need to invest in technology, but where can I do that and how can I actually do that? And so I see Quandri's role as taking all of the exciting things that are happening in the world of technology and introducing them to brokers and agencies in very real and pragmatic use cases and products that you can take advantage of to deliver real world value in your business. It doesn't need to be life changing, and it's not going to take everybody's jobs, but it can enable you to provide better service and better value to your end clients and deliver and do the thing that you do best as a broker or brokerage. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.